Come on, come on.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, the stock market takes off. The $1 million question is, are you in? Why? Because there's repercussions if you're not in. That means you are missing out on this free money, free business. Now, thank you so much for being in the house tonight, and welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only that can be in the chat room. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. But before you do anything else, make sure you share the video. Why? So other people know what they can do. Dividend investing, stock market investing, and boy, did they miss an all-time record for the last 2 years. $1,500 increase on the Dow Jones Industrial Average in one day. That means people like Elon Musk got about $12 billion added to his assets just today alone. Now you understand why 93% of the stock market is owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest, because it's their free casino. We need to be involved with them as well. So this is why we've been talking about stocks for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 years, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me see who's in the house. Tonight, we have Laverne Penix. He's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name, which I humbly appreciate. And in this YouTube street, he's known as Mr. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and he watched the video. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully your trip to Spain was well worth it. Give us some info up to date if you decided to get that project that you were reviewing. You and Mrs. Cool, let me know, man. That would be awesome to talk about one of these days. Jawway J, another investor's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon I love. Thank you so much for being here. And he brings his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received notification, saw the trailer, and he did the trifecta. He smashed that like button. He gave it a one piece, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that. All right. Byzantine Red, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. We stopped struggling. That's right. Today was a big boom, a big takeoff. And why? Because Trump wins. Trump wins. And you know what that means. Tax cuts, tax breaks for the wealthy. All the brakes are off. They're about to destroy the upper middle class. Bye-bye in 2.5 years. But in the meantime, you better be in for the big ride of your life. Because after that, you may not have disposable income to make investments unless you have made investments on the ride up, because it's all set. Interest rates by the Federal Reserve should be going down. Tax cut, tax breaks are going to happen next year. All systems go. And that means we can borrow at lower rates. We can do all kind of things, creative financing, and the rich will take advantage to no end. And we also have over $300 to $400 billion of the Magnificent Seven in stocks that are going to be buying their own shares of stock to boot. And then we have NVIDIA, who's joining the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index November 8th. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So now the ETF markets, that's right. Some people don't know. Vanguard, Fidelity, all these guys have ETFs. Some of these ETFs buy like the top 30 in the Dow, for instance. They're going to be billions of dollars buying the Magnificent Seven, the top 30 stocks in an ETF. So that means more people will be buying the stock. So that means the price is going to go higher. November 8th. It's already jumped because here we are, November 6th with this 1500. So what's the repercussions? I ask you. Joe Nay, another investor, is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, and I humbly appreciate that icon next to your name. And he says, good evening, SSN Nation. Good evening to you. Hope everybody is in good health. That is correct. Health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you somehow, hopefully, you're going to continue to have health insurance, especially if you have pre-existing conditions, because things can get kind of wild here. Joe Nay said, I did the trifecta. He says he saw the trailer, got the notification, and he smashed that like button, gave it a 1 piece. Thank you so much for that, Joe Nay. And Joe Nay, let me know about that banking situation, if that got handled as well. If you're going through, whoever you say you're going to go through, if you need any other additional info, please let me know, because the guys over in DR, they're acting funky with me now. It's like, wait, what do you mean? I have referred people to you people and you guys acting funny. I say, okay, we'll do it a different way. So anyhow, if you're coming to the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, now is the time to register at stopstrugglingnow.com or at ssnlifestyle.com, because we need you to register early. Get your tickets now before 21 days or less. And also, if you're going to be doing banking and you want to get a bank account, you cannot do it in one day. If you just show up, you need somebody to actually have you already pre-approved. So we need you to get your documentation in over the next 2 weeks, because then if you want to open a bank account, at least it'll be an hour when you get there. It won't be 5 hours and then come back a month later to come get your card or something crazy, whatever they want to do. But the point is, you want to always be pre-approved and ready. And so therefore, we get it early, you land, you get it done. December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, each one of those days we go around and do something. So those are the days you need to stay overnight. So come the 1st or before the 1st of December and leave the 5th or after the 5th of December. It's that simple. Where do you stay? Bavaro, Los Corrales. That's the preferred area. Why? Because that is the more affordable area. If you want to stay in another upscale neighborhood, that's fine. All I'm saying is it's affordable. You're right by the beach. You have the restaurant, bars, nightclubs, casino, pharmacy, mini mart, grocery stores, all of it within 5 minutes of each other. Well, 5 minutes, basically. Once you're 5 minutes to the beach as well. Once you're there, 2 minutes here, 1 minute there, 3 minutes there. It's all in the same neighborhood. You're all good. So that's the thing you want to do right there. Joe Nay, he's coming. So we'll be seeing him there in the next about a month from now, less than a month from now. That'll be awesome. I'd love to see a lot more of you. Now, let's get back to the business at hand, because the business at hand is very, very interesting. It's on one hand, things are great. If you missed the video I dropped earlier today about Trump wins 2024 election, I dropped a video that I'm going to probably talk a little bit about this here, just a little bit different way, because the bottom line to the story is When you see this here, don't take my word for it. When you see this right here, Dow soars 1,500 points to record high and best day since 2022 after Trump election win, that should ring alarm bells for you, just like I told everybody starting 6 to 7 to 8 months ago that there was going to be a bull run soon as the Federal Reserve reduced their interest rates. It was going to happen anyhow. But now you want to put some extra burners into the mix. Tax cuts and tax breaks is going to put extra burners into the top 10%, buying even more stocks. That means now you need to take advantage. By the way, down below in the description box, go over there, down below in the description box, make sure you download Robinhood or Webull so you get your free share of stock or shares, depending on their promotion, if you have not already had a brokerage account. Or even if you do have a brokerage account, go there and download the app so you can get free shares of stock. Now, I remind you, we're over at Instagram as well. VD Adventure AX. I see you. Thank you so much for being over there. Once again, I'm imploring people, please follow on Instagram and our other social media platforms. They're at the very bottom of the description box on YouTube. You can find the other social media platforms where I put out memes and a couple of memes a day. Other discussion type things go on. So make sure you join up there. And also, I'm always forgetting something, but that'll do for now. I know what I need to do because I put a link in the chat room for the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. I put that link in already. So if you want to come join and play with us and handle investment, because on the Tuesday we go around of the areas in the DR. So, and we even take in a couple of meetings so you can actually see what some of the projects are. And, you never know. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry to get in pre-construction property. You can get yourself some real estate that you can possibly do short-term rentals, Airbnb. But if you're going to do short-term rentals and Airbnb on the island of the Dominican Republic, I highly suggest you put a note, write yourself a note. That's why you always need a pen, pad, and paper when we have our live streams. Write yourself a note to go back through and look at any previous videos over the last month that has to do with taxes in the Dominican Republic, because they are going to do some things that you're going to have to do a calculation if you think it's going to be worth it for you to invest there for short-term or long-term rentals. You no longer can just go, okay, I'm just going to buy it, because the prices are not the same. It's not like 60, 70 grand for a one bedroom. It's not like you can buy 2-bedroom penthouses for 120, 130,000. Them days are gone. So if you have to spend 250, 300, 350,000, again, I don't recommend spending over 250,000. Why? Because you better know that you can rent for 0.1% of the value. So if something costs 250,000, you need to make sure you can rent for $250 or more, and you have to make sure that you can get 50% occupancy. If you cannot get that combination, then you have to buy at a price that can get that combination, because that way you're at 15 to 20% profit margins. And so if you get anything above that, instead of 50% occupancy, you get 60, then that means you even make more money. And it makes sense. It makes no sense if you spend $100,000 and all your profit is after tax is $2,000. Do you really want to make 2%? Why are you going to go through all this to make 2 or 3%? That makes no sense. You might as well just put your money in a bank. You might as well just buy a dividend stock like ET at 7.78%, and you're still liquid, and let you get paid every month. That's right. ET, Energy Transfer, 7.7%. If all you want is single digits, you might as well get JEPI, JEPI, JEPQ, the ETF for JP Morgan, 9% annually. If you want to be cute about it, 9% then. Either way, That's much better than going through all this. Oh my God, what if a hurricane comes and we don't have the 50% rental and some damage occurs and now we're down to 20%? You don't have to worry about none of that. You just get to collect money while you're sleeping. That's the idea here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're trying to get you to understand. This is what you're going to have to do. You have to take advantage. All right? Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Now, why do you think? I'm pretty sure you guys all know why it happened. Russell 2000 also hit a 52-week high, by the way. These are the small cap stocks. So, again, I'll repeat, Trump has this thing in his brain that tax cuts and tax breaks help ordinary citizens, the OCs, us. It does not. What it does help is the people that have the most money. So generally, it'll help a small amount of us, OCs, and then it will help a larger amount of the people that are wealthy. Why? Because if you make $100,000 a year and I give you a tax cut, and let's just say I give you a tax cut of 5%, that's $5,000. So you take the $5,000 and you put it in the stock market. But what happens when I reverse that and I say, okay, I have $1 million guy and he gets 5%, that's 50,000. So now if the price doubles, one person has 100,000, another person has 10. So now the wealth gap widens. So, and the other problem is, guess who's going to pay for the tax cut that the rich guy got? Now, again, the rich guy gets a tax cut. Let's just say his tax cut was 20%. That's 200,000. The $100,000 guy got a tax cut 20%. All right, that's 20,000. Who's going to pay back the $200,000 guy's tax cut? I am, because I made the 100,000. But now me plus 10 other people, the other 10 people that make 100,000, we have to pay his $200,000 tax cut. So that means we're paying we're getting a 20,000 tax cut. So are they, but we got to pay theirs back. Since they make more money, they have a huge amount of taxes that are cut. The other people have to make up their share. Plus, when our tax bill comes, we have to pay our own taxes. So that is what happens after 2 to 3 years later, why there'll be it'll be inflationary and a downside. And that's why it always happens after the tax cut. 3 to 4 years later, it goes through the system. And then you have this bad thing. And then somebody has to fix it on the other side after year 4 and then year 5. And then they get it back straight and then they'll do it again. So that is the problem. You have to understand, but you have to be prepared. You have to use your disposable income. You have to go down here and you have to go buy some shares of stock. Now, if you want some ideas, we can give you some ideas. We have some people in the house that makes investments, but I'll give you something to look at regarding real estate investment trusts. Why do I like real estate investment trusts? Because it's the best of both worlds. What's going to end up happening? They pay dividends. So, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? We'll just do it this way. Let's just do it on demand, right? How many people do it on demand? I don't know, but we'll do it this way because I was just going to tell you these stock symbols. Why do I like these stock symbols? Well, I'm about to show you, but hey, anything you invest in, you always have to do your own due diligence. But you always have to have your own pen, pads, and papers. That's what you need. Black and 8 Moan 23. I see you on Instagram. Thank you so much, everybody on Instagram. Make sure you follow because the Instagram gods don't give us any love. We went up to 925 followers, then it dropped back to 922. Last time we went up to 924, then they dropped us all the way back to 919. So they always do this, and I find it very interesting, but that's why I've been starting to promote this, because some people don't believe it. They're like, nah, that doesn't happen. I'm like, yes, it does happen. You guys don't understand. Some people have advantages. All right, here we go. You guys see this number right here, the dividend yield? You want 18.97% return on your money because you're buying these shares at $7.57? Well, here you go, ORC. Here you go. There's a bunch of these all lined up. ARR is right here. That's another one. AGNC, that's another one. You want to go see, they're less, but let's go check them out. ARR, 15.38% dividend yield. Every month, a payout's coming. How about AGNC? Just maybe about the same or a little bit less dividend yield as well. 15.35%. You're not liking that. How about this one? Annaly Capital, NLY. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can see it on the screen. NLY, right? Oh, you don't know it's NLY. We know it's NLY. Here you go, stock symbol NLY. That's right. We know what it is. 13.65%. You don't like any of those. Okay, there's more. How about TWO? That's right, Two Harbors Investment Corp. These are all real estate investment trusts. They're making it too easy for me now. They're showing all of these. I love it. 15.49%. So why are you keeping your rate of return under 9 or 10% when you can easily get 15% returns on the stock market by buying these individual stocks? You only have to put it in the ETF, like a VOO, a VOOG, a VTI. Those are Vanguard groups. I know. This is why I tell you to put your pen, pads, and papers. Always have that pen, pad, and paper ready. All right? Because that way you win. We want you to win out here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of people I find very funny. This election that just occurred, right? I'm going to give you guys an example, because you know I'm no friend of anybody that says we're going to do tax cuts and tax breaks, because that means in 4 years, 3 to 4 years, we're going to have a situation where somebody has to pay those reduced tax revenues. You know who the backs it's going to be on? The remaining 200 million people are going to have to cover the billions, if not trillions of dollars of tax cuts and breaks that occurred. Somebody has to make that up. Who's going to make it up? Because if I'm in business, I'm not like you, right? Because if I'm in business, I get tax write-offs to boot. So I can hide some of my revenue. I can hide some profits that I can stick in my pocket. I can also sell shares, which hides revenue. So even though I get the tax break, now all of a sudden what happens is I made $100 million, but that's overall revenue. I'm in business, and then I tell my business, okay, what's our expenses? How much are you going to pay me this year? Okay, what's my living expenses? Let's just say I'll just take $125,000. Okay, so we deduct that off the business, but the business invests in the stocks. Since the business made $1 million and invests in the stocks, the business has an expense that they can write off. Then the business does not sell the shares. So the tax breaks and tax cuts I get is going to be more than my salary, and my business thrives. Now I don't have to take that much money personally, but personally I have shares. So now I can always borrow against my shares. That's not a taxable event because I have to pay the shares back. So tax-wise, you guys are going to be holding the tax bag for me, unfortunately. So that's why you have to get in the game. Stock market takes off, you got to get in, ladies and gentlemen. There's repercussions. If you don't get in and you don't get this money that goes up while you're sleeping, while you're working, while the next few years you're going on vacation, then you're going to run out of money, because on the other side of this, it's going to cost more to live. That's the problem. Who knew 5 years ago what the cost of rent, groceries, or anything is going to be. You can guess. We knew what was going to happen. It was not hard. It's the same thing that happened before in 2017 is the same thing that's possibly going to happen in 2025. No, possibly. It will happen in 2025. Tax cuts, tax breaks. So that means in 2028, inflation's going to kick in 2029. That's when it's going to kick in even worse. And your tax bills are going to be higher. All right. I keep being adamant about this. You guys keep playing. 3 years, you're going to have a lower middle class, upper middle class wipeout. The only people that's going to be left is the top 15% of the wealthiest. The only ones that's going to be left that's going to have disposable income. So if you don't set things in motion right now to make sure that you have passive income coming in through their game, through their casino, you're going to be left behind and you can't catch up. Just put it plain and simple. The only way you can catch up is you have to invest more money into the casino. So are you coming along for the ride? Speaking of the casino, we're talking about ETFs. Let's see. I talked about the VOO, the VTI, the VOOG. We talked about the JEPI. We talked about the JEPQ, right? But what I haven't talked about is yield max ETFs. Why do I want to talk about yield max ETFs? Well, before I forget, let me see, who else did I go through? I did A and G. I don't want to do them. I'll just risk getting turned off just for you guys. Every time we go to yield max ETFs, you got to wear watch. So if I get disconnected, I will be right back. Okay. Hopefully you guys understand. All right. So don't worry. I'll be back if I get disconnected. So you can see some of the yields when they come up. If they come up, they like taking their sweet time. You can see, and this is distribution. And similar to dividends, but it's slightly different. All right. This will start scrolling by and you'll see the distribution rates. And this is not actual yield. EY that's going to be coming up next. It's probably going to be what? 50% distribution. So that's based on, 51% distribution. You don't mind getting paid every month for this, right? At a 50 AMZY, 49.76 distribution if you buy it today's stock price. So what does that mean? You buy $10,000 and it's 50%. Wait a minute. I can invest $10,000 and get possibly $5,000. That's what they're saying. But here's the key. It's a distribution rate. They don't go by the actual share of stock. You have to go study. What they do is they go by the options market. They're doing puts and calls, meaning buying and selling or shorting the stock market. Every time that happens, there's a transaction cost. They're taking the transaction cost. And then the profits they share with yield max ETF owners on almost all of their stocks. Some of these now you can do shorting. They have shorting capabilities now with yield max ETF. That's right, 96.42, 80%. That is correct. That's what they're saying. But I have to give you the caveats. You have to study yield max ETFs because of the high distribution rate, they do not hold assets. They don't own any corporations. They don't own any business. They're strictly using day-to-day options income. They do put a little portion towards treasuries. So you can have 3-day, 7-day treasury payouts or 30-day payouts. So then that gives them a little money they can give you. But like this YMAG right here, weekly payouts on YMAG, 56%. Again, can you imagine putting in $10,000 and getting $5,000 a year, $400 per month. Can you imagine putting in $20,000 and getting damn near $1,000 per month or $900 per month? I know. Isn't that funny? But this is what the wealth, they're buying high yield performing stock ETFs that they can find without the risk. But every now and then, when you have a 70 high risk, again, if you're doing over 18%, 15% from a REIT, there's an Airbnb even 62.75 distribution. If you have any numbers like this, is like ETFs. YMAG is the Magnificent Seven. They're on a boom today. Like I said, Elon Musk, $12 billion today of money added to his assets from the stock market. And whoever knows what other little underhanded companies that he has money invested in, he's got money in the Mag 7, I'm pretty sure. So that means he probably not only did the 12 billion for Tesla, he probably has another 10 to 12 billion from all the other investments on the stock market, because he's invested in the top 7, right? Amazon, Google, Facebook, which is now Meta. So what am I missing? There's 7 of them, but nonetheless, all right. APLY is Apple. So you guys can see all that, right? We didn't get booted this time. This is unbelievable. But make sure you guys smash the like button, share the videos, let other people know, bring them along for the ride, because you don't want people missing this. No matter where you're watching this from, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, it does not matter. We want you to share. Let other people know that what they're missing is free, easy money from common sense investing. Now, you want some other high risk, I can give you IEP. That would be high risk. That's the chart, the icon group. I is in India, E is in Eric, P is in Paul. You want to get 20% yield from dividends or more? High risk, high rewards. Nothing wrong with that, I hope. Okay. Let me know what you guys are thinking out there, because now we have Trump already profit down. All right. Now, so why else would the stock market go up? I don't remember if I got this in here yet. Brian P, Mr. Dividend has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name, which I humbly appreciate. And he says his tagline, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with me. That's right. Then he says also, we got to smash that like button. You got to give it that one piece, ladies and gentlemen, no matter which platform you're on. Throw down the one piece. And hello, SSN family, and smash that like button. And I got the notification, and he saw that, and I appreciate it. Now, let's get into this a little bit more. Where was I? I now, because I got excited when Mr. Dividend showed up, this man has like 2,000 or 3,000 shares of stock from YieldMax ETF, getting payouts like $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 per month on, yeah, it might be $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of investment. But if you can spend $50,000 or $60,000 and get $25,000 to $35,000 back without working for it, who doesn't think that's a great plan? He's the man. That's why he's called Mr. Dividend. All right. He's been buying, and everybody should be buying right now. Not only dividend stocks, but if you don't want to buy dividend stocks, then you have to buy individual stocks or go with ETFs. It's that that simple. You're going to get left behind. There's no way you're going to be able to, let's just put it to you in wages every year. I'm asking, how about a 14% raise? 1 year, 10% raise the next, 7% raise the next, 10% raise the next. Not possible. If you buy a ETF fund like a VOO, VOOG, VTI, VCR, and you can get 38% in 1 year increase in the ETF fund per VOO share you own, see, you're not going to, it's free money. You could sell it after a year, because if you sell it before 365 days, then you're going to pay 25% capital gains tax. If you sell it after 365 days, then you pay 15% capital gains tax. So that's why it's not even a question about reselling. You're just holding. There's no reason for you to do anything, because the price is increasing 38%. Like this year, VOO, VOOG, VTI, all over 30% year over year. Some are 38. Another one's 35. Another one I think was 32. You're not going to get a 32% increase in your wages, and you have to work for your job to get those wages. You could have had it. And after today, you know what? Let me go look, because I just realized after today, what happened? Why don't we just bring this into the real? Let's see what happened. VOO stock boom. Oh, big, big, big boom. We like the big booms, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you hold these type of stocks, even though it's 543, but it's all relative. Look at this. I'm going to go year over year now. Just today, 2.49%, right? Look at this. 35.75%. That's VOO. Now, you can buy partial shares of stock. You don't have to spend $543. You don't have to spend $5,000 if you don't want to. You can spend $1,000. You can spend $50. But the fact of the matter is, whether it's $50, whether it's $100, whether it's $700, whether it's $10,000, you're still going to get 35.75 if you would have had your money in 1 year ago when it was $400. See, this is what I'm saying. That's pretty sweet, don't you think? 35%. $143 per share that you own. Not bad, I don't think. Now, let's go with the other ones, just so you guys can see we're not just talking smack up in here. We know what we're talking about up in here. Here you go. Here's VTI, 2.8% today. Let's see what they did over the last year. Let's just go see. 36.09%. Vanguard, Total Stock Market Index Fund, ETF. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. VTI, that was 220 last year. It went up $77 per share that you own, netting 36% in 1 year. How many people would love 36% in 1 year? I know, me, I would like that. You can get it, ladies and gentlemen, especially over the next 2 years after these tax cuts and tax breaks. This is going to be double. Easily, just saying. All right. How about, did I mention VOOG? Let's see if it comes up. Vanguard S&P 500. Okay, I'll take it. 42.5%. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the S&P 500 Growth Index Fund. See? And by the way, we've been talking about this for a couple of years, maybe 3. So when you start actually doing things and saying, okay, what were we doing before? It's like this. So you say, okay, in 2021, 3 years ago, till now, it's still 30% increasing. So, but look at this one. VOOG, 115% in the past 5 years. And in the past year, 42.5. How many of you would like an average of over 20% per year? While you're working, while you're busting your tail, your money has doubled in less than 5 years. That's why you keep investing the dollar cost average right now, especially when the stock market's going up. You want to any disposable money. You don't want to be doing the Friday night just got paid out there partying, because those hundreds of dollars, those thousands of dollars, that's actually couldn't be 200, 300, 500, 600, 800, 2,000 a month. But you're too busy doing the expendables, drinking, which doesn't do anything, right? Partying, buying food, liabilities. You're spending all this money on liabilities. If you spent the same amount of money on these, then you would find yourself with a nice nest egg. All right. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen, which I will say one other thing. Because, we have a lot of stars. We have a lot of sports stars. And what drives me crazy, more crazy than anything else, is you have sports stars who are making 30 million, 50 million. Now, a lot of people don't realize most of the time, unless they have some accounting, most of the time, just because it says they made 40 million, they might collect the 20 million, which is still a crazy sum. But what drives me crazy is you get drafted in a later round. They give you like a $2 million contract. You don't even know how long you're going to be in the league. And what drives me crazy is if you get a $2 million contract and you get a signing bonus, the signing bonus should actually be put into the stock market. And it should be in these type of funds we were talking about here, the ETF funds or the dividend funds. So you can imagine getting $1 million bonus and you say, okay, I'm going to throw down 800,000 of it into these dividend stocks. But see, my point is now you're going to be, if you're getting 15%, right? So let me get a calculator here. So if I'm getting a measly, I say measly, but if I'm getting 15% on 800,000, right? So that's 80,000. I'll just, it's, what is that? 105, 800,000 times 15%. Let's see. 15%. Okay. $120,000 per year. So I get $120,000 a year that could be churning. Because remember, every monthly payout that I receive, I'm buying more shares of stock. And that means I'm getting the following month, I'm getting more than however many shares I've received. Now that adds into more. So I'll actually make more than $120,000 a year because I'm reinvesting it. So my point, though, being is let's just say what happens to a lot of people. At the end of 2 years, I get injured. They cut you. And now when they cut you, your money is gone, right? But you would be a lot better suited if you had 12.5 coming in every month that you can actually take out. Yeah, you're going to have to pay the tax just like you would anything else. But you have money coming in that you don't have to work for. That's my point. So it drives me crazy when these guys who make hundreds of millions or 20, 50, and they're sitting there going, I'm broke. And I'm just like, nobody told you to just put $2 million somewhere and earn 10% annually on it? $200,000 a year? At least that way you can't go broke and you have something sitting there. Not only do you get the dividends, but now if you need to sell, you don't need to, but if you sold the shares later, because now if you get 30% share price increase and you're going to give me 15% and you're going to give me 10%, now you are in a better position. You definitely won't go broke is what I'm trying to say. You would have the Allen Iverson type thing with what Reebok did for him. They said, no, we ain't going to give you the money, man, because you out here throwing it up like it's paper. So we'll put it in a fund. So when you get like 50 years old, we'll release the $35 million. And it worked out for the best because he spent damn near all of his money. Hundreds of millions of dollars. He spent all of his money. So without that Reebok thing, he would have been damn near broke. So that is why I find it very interesting that a lot of these sports agents don't go, hey, man, you got this 3-5 year, $50 million deal. They gave you a $10 million bonus. Okay, we going down here to put in $2 million somewhere. So you're getting this You don't have to do anything with it, but at least we know it's generating $200,000 a year from dividends. You don't need it right now. So the longer you play, if it's like 5 years, 10 years, then instead of 200,000 a year, because it's reinvesting, it could be up to 300,000, 400,000 per year. And so then when you retire and you have $400,000 or $500,000 a year coming in, you can't go broke. That's how you have to look at it now, ladies and gentlemen, because you will go broke. Why do I say this? It's a capitalist system. The corporations run America. In order for them to have shareholders keep investing in them, they have to increase the price, whether it's 3%, 4%, whatever, the price has to go up. And since that price has to go up, then that means also that maintenance and upkeep for every corporation goes up. Wages have to go up. Otherwise, you can't employ people if it costs more money. If you don't pay a livable wage, right? So all of that comes into play. So the prices have to go up no matter what in a capitalist system. We don't live in a communist system where your government provides the food and water and everything, and then they give you rations. Come down on Tuesday, and they give you whatever. That's crazy system. All right, here we go. Brian P. He's talking again. I picked some YMAX today. I now have 500 shares. My God, nice. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Very well done. All right, we are making money in here. That's right. He's got 500 shares of YMAX. One of these, I can't remember, was it YMAX or YMAG, was 6 cents a share, I think, on Friday. I thought that was kind of low because they changed to every Friday now for YMAG and YMAX. And so I wanted to see what was going to happen compared to the monthly, because monthly it could be 70 some cents, right? Normally, or $1, but it seems it's smaller when we do weekly. But there's others, right, that you guys saw on the screen. So you don't have to worry about that. So once again, no matter where you're following at, make sure you hit the follow button, the heart button, the like buttons. Make sure you light it up, and make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, make sure you do all of that as well, no matter what platform you're on, because I want to hear you guys make comments no matter what platform you're on as well. All right, that helps things out. All right, what else can we get into this evening? Because of course, the repercussions. Now, I already went into the repercussions on this stock market taking off scenario. No repercussions at the beginning. The repercussion is lost opportunity, lost money. If you can't invest in there now, then that means you're losing out on this increase in pricing on the stock market. Just like when the interest rates come down sometime around next year, that'll be a significant number, around 4 to 4.5% mortgage rates. Home prices will start going up, and you won't be able to afford it. Because if home prices, the average home price is $450,000 right now in America, what happens when the interest rates go down and then people find out, instead of them having to pay $4,000 a month because they have a 7% interest rate on a $450,000 house, including insurance and all that, and all of a sudden they can refi it at 3.5 or 3%. Now that payment almost goes to half, $2,000 instead of $4,000. That also means a person that only has, who can afford $22,000, $2,300, $2,500, they can now buy a house that cost more. That's where the problem comes in. So now I can buy a house that's $700,000. I'm going to have an interest rate of 3%. I'm going to pay almost the same mortgage rate as the person that bought now at $450,000. So that now means home prices are going to cost more. And why? Because nobody made a commitment to build more houses. And there's another factor. As homes get older, maintenance and upkeep cost more. So the same thing that you could do, refurbish a home or fix little maintenance and upkeep from 25 years ago, when it was a simple, you would call up the guy and you'd be like, hey, man, I have this plumbing issue. You would talk to him on the phone. He would say, hey, I'll come over and check it out, and I'll let you know how much it is. And then, of course, the question comes up back then when they're there, I'll charge you X amount of dollars, and that includes the part. Versus today, hey, I have a plumbing problem. What's your address? XYZ address. I'm charging $50 transportation fee. And when I get there, I'll tell you how much it's going to be. You do realize it's going to cost you more money now than it did 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Why do I say this type of thing? Because a lot of people do not understand when they are buying a home what to look for in a home. And I have to tell you, I made a series, Buying a Home. Search the channel on YouTube, Buying a Home, Stop Struggling Now. I have a part series on materials. That is why the older the home is, the more you have to pay attention, because materials deteriorate. And as they deteriorate, you don't realize it because all you see is walls, doors, closets, a ceiling. So everything looks fine. But the interior, the bones of your structure is deteriorating. Rugs, carpets deteriorate. There's things that deteriorate. Your AC unit, heating units deteriorate. So are you doing service every year for your AC and heating units? If you're not, then if you're buying something from a person who's had the house for 20 years and they haven't been doing their service every year, you take over and then all of a sudden you live there for 1 year and now you got to pay a $2,500, $3,500 fee to fix it. See, this is what you have to understand. And going forward, nobody is going to be able to sit there and waste money. We're talking about 3 years from now. You already can't do it because 70% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck already in the United States. So that's that. So that would be the equivalent of 200 million people. And you're going to wonder why stores are going to go out of business. Well, they're going to go out of business. Nobody can afford to go to stores and buy like they used to. It's just the way the cookie's going to crumble. This is the same cookie that's going to crumble after this tax cuts and tax breaks on the other side, because once the money is deployed and invested and the money that the tax cuts and tax breaks allowed to be put into that marketplace, there's no more money coming in. So now it's going to start coming down. And now the revenues from all that buying, whether it's stores, stock, whatever, that means you're not going to have people being able to buy from regular places, and they're going to be going out of business. This isn't rocket science. You can just look it up. Google tax cuts by each president. I keep saying this. This is major. This is not a good scenario. This is why the stocks are going up now. So you better ride the wave while you can ride the wave for the next 2 years. After that, you better also make sure you're making $200,000 per year household wise. What do I mean by this? I don't mean individually. What I mean is well, if you're individual, yes, but we can say household wise, because if you have a husband and wife and together you're making 200,000 plus, that would be good. But if one person's doing it, all the better. But how many of these $200,000 a year jobs are there in America? Especially with automation coming on board. So that's why you have to start thinking a little bit different. How long is how long are you going to be able to make money with Airbnb? How long are you going to be able to make money with social media marketing? How much longer? If nobody has money to buy anything, 70% of the population, like right now, and then somebody sits there on YouTube and says, oh, Dollar Tree stores are closing. Hey, shout out to JJ. Dollar Tree stores are closing. Yeah, 70% of the population's living paycheck to paycheck. They can't even go to a dollar store. So that means your top 20% earners are the only ones that's out there shopping. You've cut your market in half. So any other additional cost, you're going to be hurt. Insurance is going to go up as well. But what people don't realize is, again, there's repercussions. So while you're doing tax cut, tax breaks, that's fine. Not fine, really, but we'll just say that's going to happen. What are you going to do about the insurance going up? Or lack thereof of insurance? So now people are at more risk. All the more reasons why you have to have a big nest egg. You're going to need all of this. And insurance crosses over lines. So I'll give you a perfect example. We have people who own homes in, well, it doesn't matter what state, but we'll talk Florida, California, and the Carolinas. There are now people who cannot get insurance. And those that can get insurance, how would you like somebody to tell you it's $9,000 per year? Because you live in the zone. Or $12,000. Or the favorite one I like in Florida. Your house is 15 years old. We won't insure you unless you get a new roof. How much is the new roof when you call the roofer? Well, because thousands of people, millions of people need a new roof, they ain't $20,000 anymore. They say that same $20,000 roof is now $80,000. So see, this is what's happening. Now, let's say you live in an apartment. You need insurance for your condo. All of a sudden, because the HOA takes care of the structure and outside of the building, their insurance company says, you know what? We don't like that $500,000 anymore. It's going to cost you $1.5 million for insurance. The Condo Homeowners Association now finds out, oh my God, we got to pay, everybody's got to pay $50,000 special assessment. You see what I'm saying? This is what's in store. It's already here. This is nothing that's going to be new. It's already happening. The only thing that's going to happen is it's going to be worse. Because they're taking away people who are high risk that normally would have paid into the pot. They are removing them. So now you have less people for payouts. So since you have less people, that means those people who do pay insurance have to pay a higher insurance rate. That's how insurance works. Now, what does tax cuts and tax breaks have to do with this? Well, the value of homes, the value of assets will increase. Insurance is based on the value of the asset with some other tangibles. So now, if they say the condo project that's worth $10 million, but because we had this real estate boom, those things are worth $20 million now, the insurance has to go up. You guys getting this yet? Who's going to pay the higher insurance premiums? You are. Some of you right now know what I'm talking about. You got this insurance thing going, man. What I used to pay like $1,000 per month. What's this $4,000? I mean, $1,000 per year for my insurance. What's this $4,000? Well, you know, we had a drone come over and we could see some people's roofs are kind of messed up. So we're not going to cover about another 1,000 people in this city. So now you're going to have to cover those people that aren't paying. You got to cover them. So your insurance premium has to go up. And your home price went up too, because, you know, it was a buying frenzy. So now the replace cost of your home is more. So that too. You see where we're going with this, ladies and gentlemen? In game, how much more of this can you do? If 70% of the people already have to deal with this, what do you think is going to happen over the next 2 years, 3 years? That's going to be 85%. 80 to 85% are going to be living paycheck to paycheck. So more stores are going to be closing because people can't afford to go to stores, and mom and pop businesses are going to suffer as well. So there you go. All right. Stock market takes off. Are you in? You better be in, ladies and gentlemen. You got 2 years. Well, the stock market you have forever, but the rise that you're going to miss out on, like the one you missed today because you weren't in the stock market. Some of you were. So congratulations, you guys win. Those of you who weren't, get in now because it's going to keep going up. The Federal Reserve also helps the stock market and the wealthy. They don't help you unless you're in the game. So anybody have any questions, ask them while we're live, because I always like live talk, because that way, you never know what's going to happen. We also have, since it's Wednesday night live and you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason why only members with the icon can be in the chat room on, and I wasn't supposed to be on Instagram, by the way. I told everybody I wouldn't do it, but for whatever reason, my mind said, no, we got to, because Trump won last night and he vowed and he will do tax cuts and tax breaks, because that's what he told his people when he did his speeches and Mar-a-Lago invites for the donors. And so the donors who are billionaires, he told them, you guys are getting tax cuts and tax breaks. I'm going to make you wealthy. He's correct. He's correct. If you make $150 million and your tax rate is supposed to be 35%, and then all of a sudden you find out it's 20, you didn't save $15 million. You see where I'm going with this, right? But you, on the other hand, it's not gonna be the same. All right. So that's what you have to consider. But nonetheless, everybody gets to win until you have to pay the piper. And who's going to pay the piper more than everybody else? The lower income, because you have to pay what didn't get paid from above. Those who make more than you, who paid less, percentage-wise. That is the problem. If everybody paid the same percentage rate, that would be great. If I have to pay 15% taxes, then a guy making 100 million should pay 15% taxes, right? It should be the same. It shouldn't be I pay 20% taxes and the guy that pays more than me pays 10% taxes. Who makes more than me pay 10% taxes. So you have an offset. So the stock market taking off is going to be the great thing that ordinary citizens can invest in right now. This is where you should be putting your extra money right now. Hopefully I've helped you out this evening with some of the stocks, with some of the ETFs, and you guys will go for it. Now, hopefully that's enough talk, because you should be in if you're not in. And again, in fact, I have to do this since I'm here, Robinhood and Webull, if you have not. And oh, by the way, down below, I have a few other things you might want to check out. Some of you say, I don't want to buy stocks. How about Wealthfront? Down below in the description box, there's a Wealthfront link. And if you put $500 in or up to $4,900, they will manage it for no cost. That's what I like about Wealthfront. So let somebody else manage it. All right. It makes it easy. I'll put a link in the chat room just to make it easy for everybody, because oftentimes while you're watching, you can't go to the description box down below. But there you go. So hopefully that would help you out as well. Set it and forget it. Call it a day. But as soon as the money goes over $5,000, then you start paying a management fee. And it's low. It'll be like 1% or less annually. So, at least that way you can have a professional manager handle it and go on about your business. How about that? You like that? I like it too sometimes. All right. Here's the other thing. I've been talking about this because it could be a crypto situation. If you think there's going to be a crypto situation, then go down below to the Unstoppable domain. There's a link in the description. I'll put it in the chat room as well, because this gives you a .crypto, a .NFT. In fact, you know what? I haven't even went over there in a while because they took a Bitcoin wallet off. So let's see here. Let me go over here and do it this way. Let's go to Unstoppable Domains, view, and we'll do it like that. One-stop shop for on-chain domains. Free minting by the name. So ericbird.crypto, I have. ssnlifestyle.nft, I have. ssnlifestyle.crypto, I have. So here's the beauty of this. You know how when you have to use the alphanumeric characters when you send or receive? So when you're receiving from anybody that wants to send crypto, all I have to do is go, okay, send it to stopstrugglingnow.crypto. That's the beauty of this. You never know what's going to happen with crypto in the future. But if you've already set it up, that is a beautiful thing, right? So here we are. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll do it this way, just so I can show you guys. I'll use Stop Struggling Now, right? That's going to be taken. By the way, once you buy, you don't have an annual fee. So you own the name for life without having to pay an annual fee like a .com. So look, see, it comes up. It has that little hyphen between it. See, I own all these. So, but if you want the hyphen in between, then you have to tell somebody stop struggling now .wallet. That's not fun. But I have the real one. Stop struggling now .crypto, stop struggling now .nft, SSN lifestyle. So $20, $10.71 for a .org, which is traditionally a nonprofit, right? They have Pudgy, Polygon, Unstoppable, .eth, DAO, .DAO, .888, .go, .zil, .bitcoin, .austin, .brain, .tball, .farms. Nonetheless, you can see all these weird things. $2, one-time fee. Minting is free, except for this one. There's a gas fee. Oh, it's ETH. That's why. But Polygon, all the rest are on Polygon, so it's free. The beauty of all this is you can add like a 3-page website. All right, just so you guys know what happened. You do like a 3-page website. Let me see if because it's on the blockchain, nobody can take it from you. Where's the website at? That's weird. I don't have a website. Just letting you know. But all I'm trying to say is you can build an actual small website on the blockchain, mint it on the blockchain, which means ISP is not involved. All right? Just so you guys understand how this works. Now, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you go get yourself an unstoppable domain. Use the link down below. In fact, I'll put it in the chat room. All right? I got to put that in the chat rooms for everybody that's watching right now. All over the place. This is unstoppable domain. Go get one. All right. It's still wide open. You never know what's going to happen in the future. So you might as well buy something for $2, $5, $10, $20, $30, whatever that you like. And it's your name, because once this actually becomes a thing, one of these days, then more and more people will jump on. And then, of course, they'll change the platform for it. They'll change the pricing, or the prices will go higher. But make sure you are in is the whole question right there. All right, there you go. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Hey, Eric, can you talk about how to obtain movie rights to buy or TV shows? Okay. Here's what you're going to do. Brian P., you got to call a Hollywood agent. That's the simplest thing I can tell you. You call the Hollywood agent up, or, well, you can even go even further than that. You can actually call the studio up, MGM, Paramount, whatever, and say you want to buy rights to a movie. Start with that. Or, okay, you can we can talk about this, I guess. Auction rights I don't know the auction website right now, but there's another way you can do it. And the other problem is, oftentimes nobody's going to give it to you because it's going to be under the Sony, Warner Brothers. That's who holds the rights most of the time. All right. Now, Rights trade is someplace you can go to. All right, because you have independence that's going to buy or sell. Okay, I can actually show you guys this. Why not? Here we go. All right, got to show you guys some love, right? Got to show you some love. All right, let's go to rights trade. I'll do it this way. Just how it's RIGHTS trade. All right, rightstrade.com, just for starters. All right, just for starters. See, I don't know if you can see the screen yet. Hold on. They're probably not going to like this. We're having a little problem. Okay, there you go. Want to play with the big boys? You want a Bamba? Okay, rights trades. What breaks? See, here we go. So you want some rights to some of these things. None of this is probably going to make sense, but you have to remember there's streaming services. So while they're selling rights to things, you never know what could be added to streaming services, which would generate some revenue. So that's why you try to get stars. So here, look, this is train spotting. That's very interesting. Okay. The last heist. I don't know nothing about any of these. But the fact of the matter is, let me see if we're actually going to do something here. Let me see if they're actually going to show us anything here. So rights trade. Okay, that's what I was afraid of. Is one of the locations that you guys connect. I'm trying to think of the other names. There's several there, especially if we're talking about TV, but those are, I'm looking for the auction ones though. So I don't think it's not really an auction. It's kind of like what's that? I'm trying to think of the site. I can't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember what the name of it is. Thanks for asking, but I can't really remember. I haven't even looked at it in so long. Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll bring this up. Let's see here. We'll bring up another one. Okay. I'll bring up another. Oh, forget it. I blew it. Hold on a second. Did I put this in the chat? No, that's unstoppable. Okay. That was unstoppable. But rights trade is easy. RIGHTS trade. All right. The flexible way to buy global content. Get started. And this is interesting, but this right here, this is just the tip of the iceberg stuff. This isn't really who you want to go through, but I'll just give you this one because you can Google. This won't work anyhow. But don't worry about this one. This is like offshore, but there's not too many places. But like I say, contact, straight up contact. All right. Hopefully that helps out for now, because I don't really like them guys anyhow. I'm trying to think. I can't think of the name because I know the music guys, and that's what's throwing me off. But hey, it is what it is, man. You got to just go to Warner Brothers, Paramount. You got to talk to people. That would be my choice. All right. That'd be my choice. Agent in Hollywood, just go talk with those guys. Yeah, that's not going to work. All right. That's all I can share with you right now, because that's not something you can just pop up and go do. Because first you have to have the buyer, and most of the time they won't have it public unless it's cheap thing that nobody wants. But if it has any of the value of any sort, then it won't be public. It'll be in Sony's catalog, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Lionsgate. What's that guy? Weinstein Group. I mean, those are the guys that are going to hold these rights, man. So just keep that in mind. All right. One last thing I guess we can get into. Let me get this off the screen here. Let me throw myself here. Let's go. Huh. That's interesting. Why didn't that show up? Oh, I know why. I didn't have anything on screen. All right. Rhode Island. Ponzi scheme. Once again, thanks to Brian P. We'll end tonight with this. I'll do a couple of things regarding this. Rhode Island mortgage banker admits to Ponzi scheme, prosecutors say. All you guys, when people said, Eric, why don't you talk about these COVID relief funds, the PPP loans and all that crap? And you guys kept going, Eric, why don't you talk about it? Because I told you it's going to be a setup. Because what people are going to do is you're going to put in there wrong amounts, maybe lie. You're going to get more money. You're going to go out here and buy cars. You're not going to put it where it's supposed to be. Next thing you know, okay, fine. A lot of rappers, investment guys got busted up a year or two back. Now even more. Look, Joseph Guattari also lied to get thousands of COVID relief loans and told the IRS he made only a fraction of his six-figure income in 2019. This is November 1st. 4 or 5 years later, this is how the feds work. They don't come get you in year 1, 2, 3. They actually watch you for 3, 4 years. And that's why they spend all the resources. That's why they don't let you off the hook, because they didn't spend all these resources over the last 3, 4 years before they decided to drop the hammer on your ass. So either, well, go to court, take your risk. But here we go. A Rhode Island mortgage broker has admitted to using investor funds to pay for his own investment opportunities, cover personal expenses, and repay others. An 8-year Ponzi scheme that misappropriated more than $1.5 million. That's funny. But look at this right here. They aren't playing with the man. Yeah, Guattari also admitted to filing fraudulent applications for COVID-19 pandemic relief funds for his business, through which he received more than $160,000 in federal funds. So you know what happened? You guys don't understand. When you guys filed for these relief funds and you said, my business does X amount of dollars, I have X amount of employees, and this is how much we make, and then you have to file your tax returns, and all of a sudden they don't match up, that's a problem. All right. And failing to accurately report his income to the IRS in 2019, claiming he made $22,000. See what I tell you guys, right? This clown says I made $22,000 so he can get $160,000. Meanwhile, when he actually banked more than $541,000. So now he's in trouble with filing a false tax return, theft of government property, and wire fraud. For no freaking reason. This is exactly why I didn't talk about them PPP loans and any other loans. Because I told you people are going to act stupid whenever there's free money. And here's another guy getting caught for some other stuff, for some, what did he do? Ponzi scheme stuff, because he did the federal funds. Apparently, he would have never been caught if he didn't do the fraudulent federal funds deal. All right. So that is a thing. So the next time this happens, because there could be a next time, this is why government funding, you don't just play with these guys. You better get it for real, and numbers better match up, because they will pay attention to you for years. Just because you got the money in 2019 does not mean it's all good. They could still be coming after you. So keep these things in mind while you're out here navigating the financial system. All right. Again, smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I'd greatly appreciate it. You know what this means? That means it's time for pardon the introduction here, but let's go with this right here.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, hey, work hard, play hard. All right. That's the idea, right? Let me show you guys something. So, first of all, I'm going to give you a perfect example of something. So, you guys see where I was at the Ultra Music Festival, right? Right up front. You saw behind me is what they call the VIP section in the stands. This is in Miami. Oh, I'm going to go look at the Ultra Music Festival 2025, Miami, Bayfront Park. That's correct. Hold on a second. We'll get there in a second. It's in March this year. I want to show you guys what these guys are doing to people right now. This is crazy. Now, here's the other. Well, this is going to take me a second. Hold on. I got one of my lights went out. Now, March 28th, 29, 2025. Let's go see how much tickets are. 25th anniversary. Oh, this is crazy. Right? This is crazy. Music Festival. Now, this is at the Ultra Music Festival. I have tickets. Come on down. How many people they have tickets for you? You know how many people came? Who contacted me? Zero. Kind of officially retired, started doing YouTube, and had some other family issues that you guys know onto some of these events. And because I know people, I would have passes that I walk through the venue. I would have backstage. Wow. Okay. I got a weird message. It said, "We're sorry for the interruption, but this one came up. We're investigating the situation." Wow. That's a new message. We already knew that. I already knew it. We're monitored. All right. Back to the situation at hand, ladies and gentlemen. So back to the Ultra Music Festival. I was going to see how much tickets cost nowadays. But anyhow, back to the, I should keep, this ain't really a story, but I used to invite you guys to the Super Bowl parties, the Ultra Music Festival, baseball, spring training in Scottsdale, and say, hey, if you get here, I got tickets for you to come to these events. And so you can imagine one ticket for general admission is $400. That's a tier 3. But what is this? This is like when you just come in and then you can walk around outside. You can't, there's a back area at Baymont Park and there's a front area. Front area is where these general admission tickets are. That's $400. Most people say, okay, $133 plus this tax fees and stuff. The VIP ticket is $1,500. So that's about $500 per day, right? And this other one is sold out. So now it's a tier 2 because we're going to get closer and closer as prices rise. Similar to when you go to the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. And once you get to a certain number, the prices start rising. So go over there and sign up today at $199 per person at stopstrugglingnow.com or ssnlifestyle.com. All right. So here we are, $500 per day. So I say, okay, we'll be there March 30th, let's say. I'll have tickets. Well, most people are thinking I may have general admission tickets, right? But some people don't know is I have VIP tickets. And not only do I have VIP tickets, I have VIP ticket plus. What do I mean by plus? What do I mean by plus is where you guys saw me on the stage or near the stage in that area, that's VIP plus is what I call it. When I turn the camera around and show people in the stands behind me and people on the other side of the barrier, that's VIP that these are right here for $14.99 for the 3 days. The tickets I have is I can run roughshod. Me, you, whoever's with me, we get our bracelets are different from everybody in the venue. We run roughshod. We can go backstage. We can be on stage if we want. We can go eat at the venues in the back. That's for artists and for people that work at the shows and things like that. We can go eat back there. We don't have to pay for food. So we get the run of the mill. So you don't have anywhere that can stop you. You can also go out front and come around if you want to too, and be out in the crowd if you want, but I'm usually not liking to be in that big ass crowd out there. So I'm just letting you guys know, next time I invite you guys, now you know. All right, he says I keep freezing up. Hopefully I'm not freezing up anymore. We're almost going to end this tonight because once we start freezing up, you know why the freeze up. I knew when I did the EOMax ETFs, I was waiting for that freeze up zone anyhow, because they don't like us doing that. All right. Well, did I give him the wealth front? No, I didn't. Hold on a second. Unstoppable domain. I think I did. Let's go look. I got to go double check on some things. All right. Unstoppable domains. Let's go back off here. Yeah, he says we're freezing. Yeah, there's an error in the background. At least that's what they said. All right. So we're going to wrap this up tonight. If there's anything else you guys want to discuss, let me know. Hopefully I'll see you on Friday night for the Financial Friday night live stream. And everything's go, ladies and gentlemen. Like I told you before, the bull run was going to happen no matter who wins. Now it's going to be on steroids. You have to be in the game. There's just no way around it at this point. All right. So again, if there's anything else you want to discuss, do so now on all the platforms. If you guys want anything to discuss. Meanwhile, I'm put the unstoppable domain link. Let me make sure I put it in somewhere. Did I put that in the chat room here? Yes, I did. And did I put the wealth in the chat room by itself? I thought I did. Yeah, not really. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. We'll do it again. Yeah, I did. Okay. I think well, just in case I didn't, there you go. All right. That's the wealth front for Set It and Forget It. For everybody, make sure you hit the follow, the like, the shares. I'll see you on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're a member of the channel, I want to thank you guys so much because only members can be in the chat room on Wednesday nights. But members can also join me on the screen. If you're camera shy, just turn off the camera. We'll hear your voice. If you want to be seen, then okay, fine. But the link is under the community tab every live stream, like tonight, where you can actually come join me on screen and discuss anything you want to discuss. How cool is that, right? I think it's cool because in that way, even you can talk. You can have something to say. You can say it too. I don't have no problem with that. By the way, if anybody out there needs help, our man Lesko, Matthew Lesko, who you've seen late night infomercials, financial news and networks, he has his leskohelp.com, Lesko help.com. That's if you want to join him for the grants and everything. But if you want help and need help, go to findhelp.org, where American citizens, you can find help. In fact, why don't I just do it this way? I'm just going to do it this way. We'll just go there. We'll just go there, right? Because this is major. There's a lot of people out here hurting. Don't know that there's help. All different directions you have help. The federal government and the state actually funds this. I'm going to put in, well, I don't even know what zip code that is, if that's even a zip code in the U.S., but it looks like it is. All right. Look at this right here. Legal. Look at that. Work. Supported employment, job placement. There's actually training. You can get free training in a lot of cases. So a lot of people may not have a job or whatever, but look, employment first. There's certain, you know, you, you just call down the list. Workforce connection, and you call. Employment can support. Money, I've never looked down money. Oh, this is to help to pay gas, 15 places, bus passes. These are nonprofits in most cases, and it may cost you no money. But that's why, let's just say, for instance, help pay for gas, right? Whatever the 60038 zip code goes to. Look, patient aid, interesting. Susan Lang, pay it forward, patient travel assistance, serves nationwide. So you would call the number, talk to somebody. We don't know. Sometimes you have to pay, sometimes you don't. Healthcare, ground transportation. Look, all this urgent need program. See, here's the 800 number for that. Financial assistance for families working in the restaurant industry. Look at this. Can you believe this? Apply on their website. It's that simple, right? It's not that hard. You just keep going down the list. You apply with everybody, and that's where they catch you, right? Most people will apply one or two, then not. But look, I'll show you exactly what we're talking about here. I clicked on that core about the grant application process. Here you go. If you are in need of translation assistance, please email Kristen at Core. Core grants. There you go. Whatever. If a family qualifies for core support, they receive financial grant. That is a gift. See? That's simple, right? Expenses we do not cover. There you go. Type of expenses we cover include but are not limited: rent or mortgage, utilities such as electric, gas, water, sewer, funeral expenses including travel to out-of-town funerals, medical bills, supplies, therapy sessions, equipment, hospital expenses for family, travel, hotel stays, food, gas, other child needs, diapers, formula, etc., child care. Again, this right here, I'm going to put this link down because this seems to cover more than just a little something. This covers a lot. So people can apply. Now, since it's nationwide, you guys can see this. This is findhelp.org. All right. I'm going to put in this core givers, I believe it is called, since I just tapped on it. And you guys can apply yourself. And again, these are grants. That means it's free money. It's gifted. See, a lot of people go, hey, we have people right now in America that says, man, why do the migrants get what we can't get? You can get the same thing and more. But who knows to go here to findhelp.org? The United States government doesn't make any promotional thing about it, because can you imagine having about 30 million people all of a sudden find out about findhelp.org? That would inundate the system, right? So they keep it hush hush. But our friend Matthew Lesko, which has Let'sGoHelp.com. I'll put this in the chat room as well. You can go there and join his club membership as low as, if you prepay, 12 months for $60, 12 months for $90 or something, 6 months for $60, I think, or something like that. And a year is like $99, or you can pay like $10, $9 a month. And that way you're in a group along with him, and all they do, is it letsgohelp.com? All they do is actually help people get grants, funding, any additional help, and they actually search for grants and free money as well from the government. So then they share it within their group. Yeah, it's letsgohelp.com. All right. So just so you guys understand, if I have this right. Okay. You want grants? You have to pay. All right. The ones with findhelp.org. And if you need mental health, 988. That is on your phone, unbelievably. All right. That's pretty cool. 211, where you get a dispatch, that's on your phone. So he was here. We did a live stream together about a week and a half ago. Here you go. You guys might have seen this man, right? You've seen him. He was here. He was here. Let's go. See? That's right. CNN, Chicago Tribune. So I'm going to go down here, but this is what I put a link down below in the description box. So you can go to Let's Go Helps if you want to join these guys. This is only weird because he's got somebody doing this thing. The prices. I just like to skip to it. If you want to join in on the fun where they help each other, and they even have grants. Here you go. See, $20 per month. And if you do 6 months, it's $60. And if you do 12 months, it's $99. There you go. So that's it. And you can start finding grants today and send over your custom resources. I'll add you to the group right away. See, this is what it is. It's a group of people that helps with different. You say, hey, I'm having a hard time finding a grant for this, and I live in this state. They might have an answer for you. That's part of being in their group. I don't have any link for it. There's no, I'm just doing it out the Stop Struggling Now way. We helping people. All right. So whoever stayed this long, congratulations, because you got that findhelp.org and all the help that comes with it. All right. We have Paul Castillo, another investor's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name, which I humbly appreciate. And he says his tagline, good evening, SSN family, and Brian P. If you invest 1K in YMAX, what will be your average monthly? It's go to YMAX, and then you can just look up their previous. In fact, I'll do it right now just to show everybody. Just go to YieldMax ETFs. All right. We'll go to YieldMaxETFs.com. Then it depends on how many shares you have. So 1,000 is probably going to buy like not even 100 shares. I think you're only going to be able to get like, what's that going to be? 60 shares, something like that, probably. Let's see. Where's YMAX? Here's YMAX. Right here. Let's go see YMAX. So YMAX pays every Friday. So that's pretty cool. 2 cents, that's 34. 22 cents, that's 56. And 17, 73 cents per share. Right? Let's see, where's the NAV? $17. So I was pretty close. It's going to be like 50 some shares. So 50 times 73 at the moment, whatever that is, that's like $35, $40 for the month, 400 and some dollars for the year. That's 40%. I'm not mad at you. And actually, since you can reinvest every week, you reinvest. So that's at the end of the year, you're going to have more than 440, according to what my estimation is in my head. So that's a 44% return. I think that's pretty sweet, if you ask me. Or 40% or 35%. Either way, That's good, but that's a baseline. So now you can all figure out what you need to do. So if you said, okay, I want 1,000 shares and you're going to get $3,000 per month. Now, are you going to pay $17,120? Now, is that $3,000 a month? No, it's not $3,000 a month. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do it another way. I need a calculator. Hold on. 1,000 times $17.20. I'll just round it. Yeah, that's 17,200. I have 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares times, what was that? 70? Was that 70? 73? I'll just use 0.73. Here's what we got. Oh, $730 at these dividend busting rates. That's a whole nother ball game. 730 times 12. That's 8,700 a year. That's more than 36%. But nonetheless, you guys hopefully get the idea. That's like $730 per month for $17,000, $8,000 per year. I think that's pretty good. Now, things could change because again, it's based on options income trading. This is not based on the stocks themselves. It's based. I'm trying to find, here it is. Investing in the funds involves a high degree of risk. Remember, you want this type of return, risk, high rewards. Due to the investment strategy, the underlying YieldMax ETFs, the fund's indirect exposure to gains, if any, of the share price returns and underlying securities is capped. Okay, so it's high risk, high rewards. That's all you have to remember. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. All right, hopefully that will deal with YieldMax ETFs or anything that's high rewards. You want to take those high rewards, some of those, and reallocate them into a lesser riskier stock. All right, that's what you would want to do, or ETF, let's say. All right, so just keeping it out there. I keep buying, so it will be different each week. Exactly, because if you reinvest, then you're going to have more shares. So if you spent $700 and bought $17 per share, you divide that into 17, you just added about another 30, 40, 50 shares, roughly, I think. Something like that. Anyhow, you just added some more shares. So that means now you get additional, maybe it's only an additional $20 or $2 or $5, but that's still additional that you didn't have to work for the following week. So Brian P says, I put 8,000 in right now, and if it gets you that 36 return, you can figure it out that way too. You can do the mathematics on it. So if he has 8,000 shares spent, because that's easier, 8,000 shares, 84, $5,840 per month. That's pretty awesome, if you ask me. All right. So, but of course, if he had 8,000 shares, which I don't know if that's what it is, but if he had, he might not have had to earn all of them because he didn't go. I see I got interrupted. $700 divided by $17.12 is another 40 shares. So again, the following week, following month, you get 40 more shares, which will be 41 because you reinvested. But anyhow, 41 shares. And then now if you get 73 cents, whatever, that's what is that, 28 more bucks? Yeah, and then the next month it's going to be 29 or 30 more shares. And so therefore, you you are getting, now all of a sudden in 3 months you have another 100 shares. You see, and then now you're earning more. It's beautiful. Or figure out a way with your accountant where you can move it to another account, maybe into a 401k, your own self-directed IRA. Oh yeah, we do things up in here. Self-directed IRA, which gives you a tax write-off. So go to Fidelity, go to Schwab, go to whoever you want and get a self-directed 401k that you can invest. Hold on. If you're married, what you can go up to 20,000, 26,000. So all that money you can redirect, call it you're investing into your IRA. It ends up being a tax deduction on the other side. So you get to take it out. They may, if you had capital gains, which I don't know if it really, what's it's going to be classified as, ordinary income or not. But no matter what it's classified at, I'm still sending it over to my IRA. So I'm going to have a tax write-off, period. So my income, gentlemen, this is what we do here. We try to help you guys. Make sure you talk to an accountant. They'll tell you all about it. All right. So there's what I forgot I was in Max ETF. We get monitored. So anyhow, this also is why the rich stay rich, because they will move money into their accounts that they don't really actually get to withdraw. So they always have like a depreciation, for instance. All right. That is very valuable to a tool to use. Then you say, okay, I'll get a loan. So a lot of people like Elon Musk, for instance, he's well known. He'll borrow against his shares. Then he goes buys companies or businesses. But since I'm borrowing, it's a loan. So any money that comes back, he just pays off the shares. But he owns that asset that could be generating money, a salary, which you pay taxes on, of course. But as you can see, I borrowed something to go get something else that cost me zero out of pocket. Then in return, they're sending me a check for $120,000 per month. And then I pay taxes on it, but I didn't do anything other than use the derivative, borrow against my asset, go get this business. The business cuts me a check for $120 a month. See? So you don't mind paying a little tax, but I own a business over here and I own this stocks. So if I ever had to sell the stocks, why would I sell them? I won't have to. I'll just pay it back. See, so there's ways you can do this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you smash the like button no matter where you're at, the follow button, the subscribe button. If you'd like to join the YouTube channel, make sure you do that. If you'd like to join our podcast channel, make sure you do that. I love you. All right. I love all you guys. Spotify, love you. And I love you and you and you who is in the house tonight and who supports the channel. We have a lot to talk about over the next 2.5 years. In case you're new here, Wednesday nights, only members that have the icon next to their name, such as Brian, Mr. Dividend, they're the only ones that can be in the chat room. Paul Castillo, Jaway J, Laverne Penix. So again, those are the only ones. And again, congratulations, because no matter what was going to happen, if you invest in the stock market, you are going to win. Now it's going to be on steroids. Do not miss this last opportunity for ordinary citizens, because this is going to go off the charts over the next 2 years. All right. Mark my words, we'll be here for it, because I'm retiring in 2.5 years from the YouTube gods and the internet. I will no longer be here. I shouldn't make a definitive, because who knows what I'll be doing in 2.5 years. But all I'm saying is I will probably be gone. I would have spent my 8 years here and the love and everything that we have gotten over the 8 years, I appreciate greatly. And I love you guys very much for it. So still come along for the ride. And this next ride over the next 2 years is going to be awesome, because under the Trump presidency, it's going to be all for business owners. It's all systems go. So you're going to have to take advantage of all systems go, because after this next one, prices are going to be so high for the ordinary citizen in 4 years. Only the rich are going to be able to afford stuff and buy stuff. All right. So just keep that in their mind. And you want to be able to live where you want to live. You don't want to be locked up into a situation where something costs $1.1 million and you can't afford it. And now living in 600,000 or 700,000 neighborhood is not safe. All right. I'm just saying. So make sure you guys do this. Make sure you smash all the likes, the loves, the subscribe, whatever. If you want to become a member, that would be awesome too. Hit the membership button. Once again, I can't forget SSN Lifestyle, Punta Cana Investors Forum. I'm there. 3-4 other people is going to be there. So far, get your tickets at ssnlifestyle.com and also at stopstrugglingnow.com. And it's a real estate business forum. That's why on the first day we go see lawyers. If you want to start a business on Dominican Republic on the island, that's why you need to talk to lawyers. If you want to find out about taxation, the lawyers know about that too. If you want to find out about, should I buy get an LLC, which is an SRL. And there's something else I should mention about this LLC. You can have an LLC in the United States, and you can register as a foreign corporation in the Dominican Republic under Dominican Republic rules and still buy property under the LLC. Okay, there is that, but I just never talked about it. All right. But if you want to do something like that, you can talk to the lawyers. All right. We go to 2 lawyers the first day. So then that way, when you're talking to, whether you're looking for business or we go see some guys that are doing a project, you might have in your mind some questions that you ordinarily wouldn't ask, because now the lawyers gave you some ideas and you'll be like, wait a minute, what's this? What's that? What's this? Right. Like I always, it's like, what's the contract say? Do we have to pay after we bought the pre-construction property? No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. You need to know that. Well, is it whatever I pay, is that the price, or is there some other ingredient in the contract that says, if the material costs go up, then you got to pay it? Well, if material cost goes up 30%, what, I got to pay 30% more than the purchase price? That, that kind of gets rid of my advantage that I'm having. So the second day we go see, and the third day I'm going to implement this particular one, bankers. And I might try to do something else, but bankers, because you need to know if you're going to do any financing, funding, or getting loans, you need to know what the loan rate is, and you need to know what they're operating at now. You can't go by what that used to happen a year ago or 2 years ago. You have to know what's happening this year now. So when we were there 6 months ago, 5 months ago, they said 8.5%. This is Banco del Oro. 8.5% was the interest rate for real estate, fixed for 1 year, or they had another loan type that was fixed for 5 years. But what happened after the first year one or the 5-year one? And that had to be in USD dollars. If it was pesos, it would even be higher. But then they said after the first year or after the 5-year, he said some crazy number like 13.5%. And I was like, what? And then he said adjustable rate 13.5, 12.5%, depending on if you're using USD or peso. It could be as high as 15%. I was like, holy smokes. Even if somebody only owed 40 or 50 grand, can you imagine 12% on 40 grand? $480 per month is interest. And then when you add in, you got to pay the principal. Well, I mean, $600 or $700 per month. And then you have HOAs that could be $200. That's $900. Now all of a sudden you have electricity or something you need to do because you decided to buy something with a jacuzzi and pool. So you got to run your pump because otherwise it's going to get stagnant and there'll be problems. And you got to pay the pool person to make sure it maintains while you're doing your short-term rental. All of a sudden you're paying $1,000 per month just for all of that. And so now that's $12,000 a year. And then you're going to go buy something and not realize that your profit is only $15,000 or $14,000 per year. So all you really made was $2,000 after expenses. That's not so exciting. $200 or $175 per month. That's not exciting, right? So that's why you need to know. So join us. Come on down for the ride. It doesn't include airfare. It doesn't include hotel. But go check out ssnlifestyle.com and go register today, or stopstrugglingnow.com. Would love to see you in December. So arrive December 1st or before. And I didn't realize at the time, Thanksgiving is November 28th, which was my bad. Otherwise, I would have moved it back a week. I was thinking like last year. But nonetheless, we still have some people coming. It's going to be awesome. But this is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to help you. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. And you can actually get yourself some rental property pre-construction. Yes, it's going to be done in 2 to 3 to 4 years. But the fact of the matter is, at least that sets you up for short-term rentals. And the price has to be right. All right. I don't suggest going over $250,000 to buy any condo townhome at the moment. If you're going to buy a villa, you can go over. But if you're going to do that, then your villa needs to sleep 10 people minimum. All right. I've talked about this on Monday night. I'll talk about it right now, just so I can show people what I'm referring to. This is Dominican Republic. I'm going to use Punta Cana when it comes up, and I'll put it on the board. I'll put it on the screen for you so you guys can see what I'm referring to. So you know, this is what we do. It's real out here in the field. This is part of your studying when you decide to buy something. You just don't do willy-nilly stuff. You have to do your own research most of the time. About, okay, I think I'm going to get a villa or a townhome, and it's $175,000, but the townhome is only 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, right? 3 bedroom, 2 baths can sleep 8, right? Max with a sofa sleeper, unless you do 2 twins or something like that, which is kind of funky. But I just want to show you something here. I will do, in fact, I'll do Thursday to Thursday, a 7-day week. I will do 5 guests. This isn't even prime time, by the way. I don't think. They say December is, but this is early December, but we'll see. All right. So look, say $67 per night, $196. Looks like that one's by the pool, Ocean View, yeah. $81. You see all this, right? You guys can see this clearly, I hope. You can see all these, right? 196, 237, 67, 104, 279, 122. It's not really that exciting. 159, 124, but look, 941. I don't know why that is. 383. That's because these are in Cap Cana. And people bought these condos out here for $400,000. So it's kind of like we got to get our money, right? So yeah, see, 3-bedroom apartment, unique towers, 5 beds, 3 bedrooms. So 3 bedrooms means 6 to 8 people. Now, notice I put in 5, but they're showing me up to 8. Here's what I'm going to show you now, though. So you bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square foot place that you can sleep 5 or 6 or 8. But look what happens when you put in 10. When somebody has like a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom place. Watch what happens now for these same dates. Let's see what happens. Let's see. We don't have too many locations. Here we got a 127 though. Here you go. Home in Punta Cana okay, this is why neighborhoods matter. 293 downtown, 6 beds, 4 bedrooms, 293 per night, 383, 172. I don't know what that is. 1,300 because you're in a villa. 649. So depending, this is why location matters, right? This is why 656, 370, 295, 941, 1290. So now some people would go, okay, I see this 295. I say, okay, I understand that. I see the 288 and 293. I see the 127. I see the 100. But location matters. See, in these locations, they probably have restaurant, bars, nightclubs. In Cap Cana, they definitely have restaurant, bars, nightclubs. So therefore, people will want to stay here versus just staying in a residential neighborhood for 127. Like this one, which does sleep 10, they claim, 4 bedrooms, and they have a pool. But there's a difference. So what's going to end up happening? Somebody's going to come see this. They're going to go, yeah, man, look at this, 127, 100. But there's nothing there. There's no bars. There's no restaurants. There's no nothing. So now you have to have transportation. Whereas if you're over here, 649 or any of these, you can walk to the beach, walk to everything. That's why these are cheaper. And that's why you can't overpay for these properties, because you can't get the rent. You can't get 600, 1,000, 380 during this time of year. Now, when you get to prime time, it's going to be more, but that's still not a lot of units there. There's a lot less units here now. What's going on in the D? Right. So hopefully you guys understand 1 p.m. That'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure on the way out, like I said, that you guys subscribe, like, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And like I said, I know it's hard out here, and I want to say again, I love you guys very much. I thank you so much for your support. But again, go down below in the description box. There's some things there. If you want some of this gear, go to stopstrugglingnow.com. Go see some of the merchandise. We have a few hats as well, and a few, I don't even know what's on there, but I'll be adding some more stuff. Here we go. I should have been wearing this too. That's right. We got the hat for the shirt to match all that, embroidered SSN Media on this one. The other ones will say that you get will say SSN Nation over here. Instead of media, they'll say nation. All right. So just so you guys know. And yes, F average. Be legendary, ladies and gentlemen, because that's all you can be. Do your best. All right. Nobody can win all of the time. And I tell everybody, we take L's. Nobody wins all the time. All right. You have to take a chance, get L's if it happens, but you're going to have to keep moving, because no business can stay the same over the course of 10 to 20 years. You always have to adjust. Even 5 years, you have to adjust. So it's very hard in the competitive business world. So make sure you have several options for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least, because I just had 6 business situations shut down over this last year, just so you guys know. And it's due to previous deals. And then, partnerships can't uphold their deal. They can't pay you. That means you have to shut them off. We can't do business no more. Right? So it's not good any longer, right? If people aren't cutting you checks, right? So that's a problem. So just make sure, just because things are good now, things were good for 5 years, that doesn't mean it's going to be good for another year or another 6 months. So make sure you have multiple streams of revenue. And the older you get, take less risk. That's all I can advise. Now, let's get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I want to thank everybody once again. Make sure you download and get involved with stocks. That's a must right now. Everybody's going to be winners. All right. In the stock market. Right now even. And then when Trump gets in, it's going to be on steroids. All-time stock market highs will be happening on a regular basis for about over the course of a year to a year and a half. And you don't want to miss 30, 40, 50% boom on stock market. So have one of them ETFs, not so much Yield Max, but what I'm saying is VOO, VOOG, VTI. That's the Vanguard group. All right. Get some of those. Anyone, you should be good. All right. We have other things you can check out as well. SPY, QQQ, QQQY, all different types of things. But check those all out. FEPI, WDTE, that's a Defiance Group. If you want to get dividends as well, that's high risk, high rewards. So at the end of this, I had to leave you guys a little something, right? Okay. Well, with all that said, make sure you stay safe out here because once again, people are stressed. You never know what somebody's going through. So you got to make sure that you keep a level head. And with all that said, make sure you keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.